and don't blink for the next minute because we don't know when the image is going to be taken. Hey, everybody, welcome to Technorama. This is our live stream pre-show, which the banner will show in just a minute. And we are going to get started with our live stream. I want to socialize this real quickly. It probably says, hey, Technorama has started live streaming. Oh, there's the ding-da-ding. My phone says YouTube is having fun. Yep, that's nice. Craig's looking off to his right, and I look like I'm a psychotic axe murderer. I love it. This is the best part of the show, is just checking out this screen grab.
I know. Pause. Shut up.
Mute.
I was going to share it off with my phone, but I don't think that's going to work. Never mind.
It says, hey, Technorama has started.
Shut up.
Soundbite for you. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, share as me. We're happy together.
Oh, my thumbnail looks different. You're blinking, and I'm grabbing my headphones.
How could I have blinked? Wait, I think it's putting blinks in there.
Wait a minute. No. I think that's last week.
It's last week.
That's right. Okay. So, yeah, relax. It's okay. Share. Yeah. See that? Why would they show me last week's post before this one?
I don't know. Because Facebook is stupid on how the timeline works. They don't even offer you the option anymore to say, do you want to sort this chronologically? Oh, no.
No, we will use our finely
this week. I don't know what we did, but
we'll use our finely tuned AI to tell you what you want to see.
They are changing that algorithm again.
Yeah.
They need to.
Pretty soon we're going to have the AI changing the algorithm.
So we have AI news for you today. If you think AI is just crazy enough to do it. All right, I got to bring up my mic just a smidge. Wow. That's already really hot. Okay. The gain on this mic is out of control.
What changed?
I don't know. More, not less, more. There we go. Okay. I mean, Alphonic can take care of a lot of that stuff for us. Hi, Mike Robeson. He's at the Iowa State Fair. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Hey, everybody. I'm listening to Technorama.
Bring us back a corn dog.
And an elephant ear.
Yeah, an elephant ear.
Yeah, those big, like, deep-fried cakes, tiger paws, whatever you want to call them. It's deep-fried bread with powdered sugar on it. They have lots of names.
Oh, yeah, a funnel cake.
Yep, that's another name. Not an elephant ear like that plant, that invasive species plant that has.
It's like you sound like you were talking about like a cauliflower ear, like a boxer would get.
What's John Miller Jr. going to bring us?
I know, right? It's all about us tonight.
We'll do it this way. Go back here. What offerings do you have for the Technorama gods?
What offerings do you bring? That's right.
Don't do the virgin sacrifice thing because there's none of them left.
Oh gosh! Wow. Ouch.
We're going there tonight. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let me just do a quick audio check on the sound effects. Yeah, that works. Okay.
I swear, no matter how centered, I think I have the webcam and stuff.
You're never you're just not a very well centered guy.
Look,
Craig.
Now I'm actually scooted over. The camera is in front of
face
my
reality. You're not a very well centered human being.
I just don't understand what it thinks. I don't know.
John Miller Jr. says, "I bring you nothing."
Oh, that is the right answer.
Then you get everything you expect of us. How do you eat a ram one bite at a time? Nice show title. Did you see the show title on Facebook?
Oh, something about the show notes weren't there yet?
Yes.
Yeah. I did. Can't win for losing around here.
Nope. Hey, it was Sunday afternoon, for crying out loud.
I know.
I tried to do these on Saturday, but we're not even
Well,
close.
let's see. We had a DNS thing we had to straighten out.
Yes, we had a DNS thing, we had an RSS thing, we had some other letters that I can't even spell.
Mm-hmm. I think we should tell Todd Cochran about that feed burner change.
Tell you what, when we sit down at Gibney's and it gets really noisy in there, you can tell him.
Yeah. Hey! Yeah, you yell at him.
That's how I felt last time.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. I got to tell you this. So, I was listening to their new media show with him and Rob Greenlee,
Yes.
and they were talking about way back in the day when he first podcasted. And I was like, okay, or Todd was, and he was talking about how he shared some audio with family. I was like, okay, sounds like a little bit of a stretch, but I'll let it go. But then he was like talking about how else he shared it with something else, and he couldn't figure it out. It had to do with, it was kind of like, and he kept trying to explain it. And I was like, he said, somebody's going to call me out on it. And I was thinking, they're going, news groups, Usenet. That's exactly what he was trying to say. And I had to send a tweet as soon as I could. And he's like, you won.
Wow, you got on a podcast?
Well, indirectly.
You were mentioned on a podcast?
And well, he actually,
That's cool.
After last year, he did mention, yeah, right. He did mention, he talked about our conversation with him about the podcast foundation we were talking about.
Remember when you used to get goosebumps when you were mentioned on someone else's podcast?
I still kind of do. Well, we talked about today, our buddy Mark Kilfoyle. He was at the end. What is that he says?
He always has some little catchphrase when he does his history of the future. So he talks about these things that haven't happened that may happen in some year in the future, and then at the end he's got this little outro. Remember, just because something hasn't happened doesn't mean you don't remember it, Craig.
Yeah, right.
Or Amy or Chuck.
Right. That's what he said. And I was in the car and I was letting it finish, and I was like, "Whoa, did he just say my name?"
So we did it for about a week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last night. I'm listening and going, I'll bet this one's mine. It's got to be mine. It's got to be mine, you guys.
I've been trying to listen to all of them, but there's just no way I'm gonna be able to do that part. But
yeah, I've gotten to that point where I have to thin the herd a little bit.
Well, and you know what? I thought about doing this. I mentioned it on my show, but nobody really said anything. But I thought about making either another feed to give out random episodes from the day. I don't know.
Nah.
I just thought about it. Or a carousel website, where it would show like 5 or 8 random ones from the day.
All right, let's start our podcast rather than talk about other people's podcasts.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, grumpy old man.
Turn off the banner.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3. Technorama episode 683. How do you eat a ram? One bite at a time. Hello and welcome to Technorama, the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. We appreciate it very much. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, well, thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
If you are a returning guest, very, very much appreciated. We must have done something right once. I'm not sure what it was, but here we go.
Every once in a while, a blind squirrel will get a nut.
I know something we can do right, and that's tell you who we are. My name is Chuck Tomasi from sunny Phoenix, Arizona. That's right. It looks like another evening storm is rolling in. So caution if the lights flicker or the whole studio goes black.
That's kind of a theme. That's kind of a theme for you guys lately.
It's monsoon season here in Phoenix. And that other voice you hear is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm fixing all kinds of problems today.
You need like a tool belt or something. Put a hard hat on today.
I got a virtual one. Tools for DNS, and
you could cosplay a Schneider from One Day at a Time.
Schneider. Why is this guy always hitting on me?
He had one of those cheesy pencil mustaches.
I know.
Wow, there's a throwback.
That's right. I was kind of joking, but we were messing with our DNS today. Chuck had cut over our DNS server, our DNS.
We switched
from
we switched domain providers.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, DNS providers. And so the problem was, I think what happens, it moved over the authority, but not the records that went along with it. And what happened is it was still looking at the old domain servers. And once they finally dropped the zone, things broke. So the problem was the new service didn't have our records in it. So, but
And it's,
we got straightened out.
different provider, different interface. You gotta figure out where to go to get what.
Yeah.
It's like, is this
Well,
where this goes? Some
yeah.
things were easy. Some things were very easy. Like, hey, I'm routing all my mail through Gmail. Well, I don't have to set up MX records. That's pretty darn
Yeah.
cool.
That was
But,
pretty cool.
but then when you add it's like, I need to change what type of DNS I have. It's like, where's the save button? Update. Okay, something. There's this teeny little green check box.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the saving grace is between all of those services, DNS technically is the same. So it's easy
Yep.
to once you figure out where you're supposed to go, not a problem. But anyway, we got it straightened out.
Yep, pretty easy. No C names involved. No
You know what
no
else is funny is
no AREX were killed in the making of this DNS.
yeah. Well, what else is funny is about the web in general. You got everything's rolling, everything's working. One thing goes down, yeah, it breaks for a little while, but when you get it back up, it's like it takes a while for even the
Yeah,
machine to get
it's like
back into sync.
one of those gazelles out on the African savannah that's just been born, and it stands up on its spindly little legs, but within a few minutes, it's running around with the rest of the herd.
Yeah, thank you, David Attenborough.
I didn't even do my David Attenborough.
No.
But yeah, give you a visualization that you can relate to.
Yeah.
So best part about storytelling. Speaking of
Yeah.
storytelling, our
Yes.
question of the week is up. I switched my mixer and my soundboard iPads around just because of chord configurations this weekend, and I keep wanting to reach for one and I get the other. Let's play that song.
Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
By the way, that oh boy in there does sound like Michael Minigay. Oh
Should we rewind it and hear it again? I sent him a picture yesterday of the same ones I sent you because I redid a lot of the wiring underneath this this desk.
Mhm.
And I got neat. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think he's done with podcasting and all that stuff now.
Oh, and speaking of Mr. Meningay,
Mm-hmm.
I had some of you on social media probably already saw this. I had somebody try and impersonate me on Instagram.
Oh,
They
yeah.
even stole my avatar and started reaching out to a lot of podcast friends, which was interesting. It said like Jimmy Jett and 4 others are friends with this person.
Yeah.
And somebody told me Saturday night, was it Saturday night, Thursday night, Friday night? Well, I can't remember what night it was, but I reported this account and then I put together a post on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I said, look, if you do not friend Chuck Tomasi 552, except only the authentic Chuck Tomasi, and that would be me. And I had a green check mark, red X. And our old friend Jack reached out to me. He said, I suspected something was wrong because I don't think you're even on Instagram. I said, well, yeah, actually I am, just not that often. He said, I asked a verification question. He said, who did you buy your house from? And the guy responds back. He says, oh, that's an interesting question to ask. And then goes into like some sales pitch for something else. Like, no. So excellent idea. Stay diligent when you suspect accounts like that. I've done that as well. And ask something that person would easily know unless it's an imposter.
Or I'll tell you what else. Now, of course, I think Jack said that I didn't get to see your fake profile. So I think that there was actually some pictures of old.
There were some pictures.
podcasters.
One had my subnet mask on, the COVID mask that I had 255.255.0.0. And there was another picture, only like 2 pictures that they stole from me. Just to
a lot of people.
like I was there.
Now I've had I don't really use Instagram much anymore. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but I've had people jump on there and go, "Hey, friend me." I'm like, "Okay." I look at their profile, and they got like no posts,
Yep.
or some weird like that, and maybe just some wording that doesn't seem like that person. And these are
I
even
think there's
people from high school. I mean, there's people from my high school, and it's like, I don't think that's their real profile. And it turns out it's not. So I just
I think
ignore it.
there's more fraud going on Instagram than there is Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
It just
And
feels more fraudy to me.
yeah, and see, I'm losing interest in it, to be honest with you, because they're taking the focus off from photography and really pushing everything towards video.
Oh,
Which,
yeah.
which I'm like, how many TikToks do we need, really? Why don't you
None?
differentiate yourself and stay more
Right.
photography based?
Right. And it's worse on ad space than than Facebook is.
Hmm.
It was like, here's a picture, here's a video, here's a video, here's an ad, which has a video,
Hmm.
here's a video, here's a video, here's a picture. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Here's another ad. It was like every third or fourth item was another ad.
right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
ugh.
yeah, yeah. So, um, to be honest with you, I didn't even have it installed until it was brought to our attention about your fake profile. Then I went, well, maybe I should go look. And I, it was gone by that point. But still,
And
I was like,
somebody impersonated you and accepted my impersonation. So they're having a good time. So
yeah, they're doing Technorama 2.0.
and getting 1 billion downloads a week.
Yeah,
That
that's the
would
mirror,
be our luck.
the
That
mirror
would be
universe. Yeah. So
crushing
I've
fraudulent people for doing better
uh,
than we are.
it's crazy. Well, I see people all the time on Facebook. I've been hacked. Well, I don't know if about saying I've been hacked is the right wording, but yeah, I get it. They impersonated, I think, is more or less,
Yeah.
you know.
I had someone impersonate my sister. It's like, I still don't know which one to message, so I just don't. It's like, I'll text her. All right. We came here for the listener feedback, not to hear about this story about
I'm giving feedback. That's what I'm doing.
giving
That's what
feedback. Yeah, I did too. Stay diligent, stay suspicious, question everything, and
Yeah.
Mulder will be happy.
I want to believe.
Okay. Question of the week we had for you this week is, what do you want to ask us?
Yeah, we got some responses.
We got lots of responses. Go ahead. Start with one.
All right. So the first one on the list, Trampus Whiteman says, "Will I ever get rid of that rash?" Unfortunately, no.
See your doctor.
Yeah. See, if your rash hangs around more than 4 hours.
Gary's poking the tiger. He says, who is the brains of Technorama?
Oh, come on.
There is none. That's a trick question.
Yeah, yeah. That's like who'd you buy your house from? It's a trick question.
Oh, he has another one. Are we supposed to ask about swallow speed or something?
Yes, well, yeah.
That's the average speed of a laden swallow.
That's
African or European?
I don't know.
One
All
needs
right,
to know
so
these things when one's a king.
Mike Robeson, excuse me, said, "What would the aliens from Galaxy Quest have built if the historical documents they received had been Star Wars or just the holiday special?" Oh no!
We are here to celebrate your life day.
Yeah. Happy Life Day. Yeah, that would have been funny. What would they have built?
Grandpa
Oh wait,
Ichi is in the chair again. We built a
if they-
chair just like that one.
yes, we want to evade Darth Vader. I wonder if they would build the Death Star, actually.
We have replicated Luke's broken X-Wing just like on the historical documents.
All right, so Mike Robeson also added in Tribble versus Smurf. Who would win and how? Tribble versus Smurf. If a transformer actually came to Earth, how soon would somebody hack it and start doing ethically questionable things to buildings and monuments, like put them together? Ethically questionable things? Unethical. Yeah, reassemble them.
If it's
All right.
ethically questionable, it's probably unethical.
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's reverse logic. He's got me. Tribble versus Smurf.
Tribble feed everything.
Yeah, and they replicate quickly or more quickly.
Although
so
we
they
haven't,
produce-
you don't know how quickly Smurfs replicate
Well, there was only one female there.
for now. You think that's going to slow down all the other males?
Well,
In that colony that you saw.
oh, that's true. Yeah, I only saw one. Unless they met up with the snorks, maybe it would do something different. Turn
Okay.
out different.
Where were we? Mike
All right.
Weber Baker says, if the sky is blue because it absorbs all the colors but reflects blue, what happens to all the other colors? Tribbles ate them. That's easy. Next.
Next. Well, all the other colors are bounced off to unicorns, and the unicorns eat them, and that's how we get rainbow unicorns.
Go look up Raleigh scattering.
All right. So Mike Robeson also chimes in. Which Weird Al song would you include on the next golden record that will be sent with a future space probe?
Oh, great question.
Dare to Be
Okay.
Stupid. That's what
I was going to say Dare to Be Stupid.
Oh, well, it was either that or my favorite Albuquerque, which would make no sense to any alien species.
Let's see. Eat It, Like a Surgeon. The saga begins. There's
Christmas
so
at
many
Ground
to choose
Zero.
from. My Bologna. So many to choose from. So many to choose
I
from.
would still go with Dare to Be Stupid.
I would just put them all on there. That would be all that's on that gold record.
Yeah, and the Da Vinci Man would be Weird Al with the hair.
Right.
Whoa, avoid this planet at all costs.
And instead of the formula for how to make a machine to play this record, it's just a spatula.
Yeah, with a needle attached.
All right.
Right.
Let's see. John Miller Jr. says, if Hot Pockets, not a sponsor,
Right.
are now made with real meat and cheese, what the heck was it made of before the change?
Sawdust. It was made from
Processed
sawdust.
meat byproduct. Same thing that's in your Calcan dog food.
I remember, was it Kraft Parmesan? One of the, I'm not gonna say Kraft, but one of the Parmesan knockoffs where it's all pre-grated and in a can.
That was
Yeah.
sawdust.
Yeah, that's what I remember reading. It was sawdust or something like
It was
that.
either sawdust or kitty litter. Both you could put on the
I
garage
think-
floor to cure an oil stain.
I was gonna say, I don't know about kitty litter. I think that'd be a little extra crunchy. I don't.
Oh, that's grape nuts. I get them confused all the time.
Grape nuts. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay. All right. So Steve London says, I got this question a few years ago from a total stranger on the train in Gothenburg. If you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing, the only one and only one thing, what would you say and when?
Oh, so he turned it around with another question. Oh, wait, we did ask, what would you ask us?
I would say back around 98, buy Yahoo and Google stocks. I don't know.
Okay. You could go back in time and tell yourself one thing.
Hey, skip this whole podcasting thing.
Heck no.
No.
No, that's been my
No.
ticket.
I'm kidding. Your ticket. Actually, it's been so much fun. It was well worth all the money we spent. Wouldn't you agree?
Might not
Yeah.
have this house.
Yeah. Thanks, former podcaster.
Don't say his name or that guy on Instagram will know the answer to Jack's question.
Yeah. Bet they got laid down at night. Why did he ask me that?
Let's
Yeah.
let's come up with a pseudonym.
Yeah. What's funny
I
is,
bought my house from George Washington.
well, it's funny if they did any research, you said it like 100 times on the show, you know. It's no secret. Anyway, Tim Callender says, who is number one? Riker.
That would be Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah. Just don't be number two.
Right. And Myron Dupler says, will the magic fridge or the server room of horrors ever return?
It should, actually. For those of you who don't know, the magic fridge, we had an IRC channel for chatting while we were trying to broadcast. And I wrote an IRC bot strangely enough, in PHP, I use PHP for everything, and things would appear. People could put things in the fridge and take things out of the fridge. It's kind of like a Doctor Who was bigger on the inside kind of thing. And for those of you who also don't know, the Server Room of Horrors was a holiday special. I think we did a couple of them back in the day around Halloween.
2006,
Yeah,
maybe
it was
5,
it was
6.
our
It was either 5, 6, or 6, 7.
yeah, it was our podcast network, Friends in Tech, and we all did voices and stuff like that. And we had Mark the sysadmin, and the horses would whinny. You can go find that on our site. I think I still got it up there. Just
Wow.
is it not on there?
I don't know.
We'll go look. I think
Don't ask me. It's been a tech support day from hell.
Server Room of
Okay,
Horrors.
you look for that. I'm going to transition us
There
out
it is.
of the listener feedback.
Another letter from a listener day.
So the answer is yes, it's still there.
Yeah, I just searched for Server Room of Horrors and there it is.
Into the history. Hold on. There we go. On this day in history for August 24th, 2022, this is the 236th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are a scant, not that kind of scant,
No, not
129 days remaining in 2022. It was on this date in 394 that the Graffito of Esmet Akhorn, the latest known inscription of Egyptian hieroglyphs, was written.
Yeah, it was Banksy. Banksy did that.
Banksy did the last hieroglyphs.
That's right. Also on August 24th, 1909, workers started pouring concrete for the Panama Canal. I wonder if it has I wonder if it's still curing like the
It has the date stamped in it, but unfortunately they poured it in Ecuador instead of Panama.
You're right.
90 years ago today, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the United States nonstop from Los Angeles to Newark, New Jersey.
And August 24th, 1995, can you guess? Microsoft 95, Windows 95 was released to the public in North America.
What?
For its problems, it was a sea change, I'll tell you that.
It was revolutionary.
It was.
24 years ago today, the first radio frequency identification, RFID, human implantation was tested in the United Kingdom. Let's see, 24 years ago would have been 1998.
Yep. And August 24th, 2006,
A dark day in history.
The International Astronomical Union, IAU, sounds like the planetary union that on the orbital.
Keep reading.
Redefine the term planet, such as Pluto, is now considered a dwarf planet. Hearsay. No, wait. Yeah.
My
whatever.
very good mother just served us noodles.
What?
Remembering the planets. You can't use Pluto anymore.
I thought you were trying to do Roy G. Biv for the visible light spectrum.
Happy birthday goes on this date to Danish horticulturalist and astronomer Sophia Brahe, born on this date in 1556. I didn't do a lot of research, but I'm going to guess she's related or married to Tycho.
All right. And born August 24th, 1862, American geographer and geologist Zonia Barber.
Baber.
Oh, I said Barber. I put an R in there. Baber.
Valentine or Valentine Baker is a Welsh co-founder of the Martin Baker Aircraft Company. Was born on that same date in 1888. That rhymes.
And also born August 24th, 1936, American physicist and academic, author B.C. Walker Jr.
What's the BC stand for?
Before Christ? I don't know.
I'm not good. My brain is a whirl with many ideas that none of which are suitable for this microphone.
Yeah.
American engineer and astronaut Gregory Jarvis was born 78 years ago today.
An American actor and producer from Police Academy, Steve Guttenberg, is 64 today.
And many other things. 3 Men and a Baby.
Yes. Cocoon? Was he in Cocoon?
Johnny Five. What was the movie? Short Circuit.
Yeah, that's right.
American video game designer, programmer, producer, and business executive Mark Cerny was born on this date in 1964.
And last but not least, also born on the same date in 1973, American comedian, actor, producer, and screenwriter Dave Chappelle.
That must mean Triumph the Wonder Dog is really old now. Listener birthdays this week include August 24th, Kira Fiore. Yep. Crazy Joe and Christine's daughter.
That's right.
She's got to be like 16 now. Dave Grizzly Smith from Grizzly Growls podcast was born on August 25th. My Chuck's Forgotten iPod was born on the 27th.
Yeah, we remember it every year.
I don't even remember how we came up with that date. Is that when I bought it or when I got rid of it? I don't know. Finally, Maximilian Bjorsten from Stockholm, Sweden, was born on August 30th. So happy birthday to all of you. We do have one other anniversary that's coming up on August 25th. This will be, do the math quick, Chuck, the 37? I can't do the math. It was 86. How many does that make it? 36 years. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
36 years since I met my wife.
Oh.
See, I remember the important stuff. If you have an anniversary or a birthday you want to put on our birthday calendar, check out the link that Craig's going to put on the screen in a second, and I'll tell you, the listeners, to go to chuckchat.com/birthday. You can enter it there. And,
or you can pick one up there. Maybe we should start offering birthdays.
Spin the wheel of birthdays. If you don't remember your birthday, we'll assign you one.
That's right.
Why not? All right, that's it. Music has to end. Let's see. Is it going to end on its own?
No.
Yes. That's the end.
I like how they get that second wind right at the. Like, oh, we're almost done.
All right, on to the news. Let's pick a random one here.
Good news, anyone?
Well, this is some interesting news, if not good news.
Yeah.
The Air Force has a combat system which it has termed Angry Kitten. Now, this sounds like Angry Birds versus Exploding Kittens, but we'll figure it out. So you know how the jet fighters have those pods underneath. Some can be weapons. Some can be fuel tanks. Some can be sensors. Well, this is a sensor pod filled with lots of stuff, including frequency jamming for enemy aircraft and enemy radar.
Yeah.
So ultimately, if you can jam the radar, they can't see you. If you can scramble their communications, they can't talk to each other.
That's right.
So this is pretty cool. And as I was reading through this, where is it? They said there was a flight test at China Lake. It was their final operation assessment event, said Keith Kirk, the experiment program manager for AERRES, which I'm going to pronounce as Ares. A program examining in part how open software can lead to better electronic warfare tools. Open software. The software was updated within hours based on the performance they were seeing against certain threats and then improved. And those improvements were verified during flight test the following day. That's really tough to do with software and tools that are not designed to open standards. So that's pretty cool. It leads me to wonder. I mean, obviously, they're not posting the source code to this on GitHub, right?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be refreshing GitHub for it right now.
They're probably using open standards of software to do these updates rather than something like Wind River Systems, where you're doing embedded software. That's like what they use on the Mars rover. Okay. That's not exactly open. It's a commercial package for making embedded system software. This is, I suspect they're using, well, probably not written in Python, but something a little more standardized, like maybe Java or whatever it is that can run this.
I don't see them using Java. There's no way. No way. No. There's no
But
way.
at least you can find Java programmers a lot easier than you could find, proprietary embedded system software.
Yeah, but in the middle of wartime, you don't want to. Hey, there's an update for your Java.
You're flying the jet. We're on. Stay on target. We're on
What's
target
this?
to attack. Ding! There's a software update. Would you like to install it now? Just like your iPad says.
We got that
Right
little.
when you don't want to.
We got that little a little mascot for Java. Remember what was the little triangle?
I don't
Little
remember a
triangle.
Java mascot.
Oh yeah, what was that? Java.
My iPad does that every time too. It's always when you start up the software, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
I've got to FTP this file and then go to bed. Fire up CyberDuck. You
There it is.
need an update. Like, not now. And then
Yeah,
you
the
know
little-
it's going to nag you again. But do I really
yeah.
have the heart to hit that button that says skip this version? Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, the Java mascot was called Duke, and it was like a little triangle. It was white and black with a red nose.
You forgot to turn the banner off. I got it.
Have you not seen this? Here, wait.
John
I'll
Miller
show you.
Jr. says he wants February 31st as his random birthday.
Here you go. I'm gonna show you.
Are you going to do
Share.
a screen share?
Yeah, there you go. You don't remember seeing that little guy?
He looks like something out of a horror movie.
Yeah, Java.
Raccoon City or something. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's a scary looking icon. Who came up
Yeah.
with that?
I don't know. Same guy that did
Like
Clippy.
Star Trek got crossed with Section 31 somehow. Or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's the same guy that did Clippy, probably.
ugh, I think it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I didn't realize his name was Duke. But okay. Oh, by the way, with the Air Force's article, that picture is super cool. They got a jet with this with this array that we're talking about on the
Mhm.
on the belly of it, but it's suspended by a crane in a sound barrier room.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll share my screen again. How about that? Share screen.
Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to remove it. You can just go back to the 2-person format and your screen share stays there. Saves a lot of time. Look, watch. Screen share, no screen share. Screen share, no screen share.
Yeah, but I'll be looking up something inappropriate, and you'll go, screen share. Whoa,
screen share.
Yeah.
Monkeys with power tools. That's great.
Yeah, but look at that. Isn't that cool? You can see the they got it.
That's their simulator.
Well, yeah, it is a simulator, but they have it in that room to do testing with, and it's that soundproof room. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Okay. No screen share. Next article. So you're familiar with the Artemis moon mission?
Yep.
Right? Artemis
coming
was
up,
the sister of twin sister of Apollo. Remember, we used to send missions to the moon called Apollo. This is Artemis. Now you kind of know where that comes from. I've been watching a lot of Greek history stuff.
Oh.
Anyway, it's going to be carrying some biology with it.
Do tell.
The video tells a lot more. This article focuses largely on some yeast samples that they're bringing up. But along with some other stuff, they're bringing up 10 of these little CubeSats. They're little, they almost look like shoebox size satellites that have experiments and whatnot inside of them. So when they're out there, they're going to start going, release them and into a very, an orbit that's, the way I understood it, it was about the same distance from the sun as the Earth, but not like around the Earth. They're going to be going around the sun.
That's right.
So hopefully we don't catch up and crash into one of these things.
Yeah.
And they're releasing, what was it, 10 or 12 of them? And they're going to be activating
10 of them.
The yeast is dry right now. And once a month, they'll activate one with some liquid and go, hey, what happened? Because we want to know what happens to living organisms in space. You know, we've been up there and we know that, hey, you know, you're exposed to ionizing radiation and it can tear apart your DNA. So what do we know about that? Before we start sending people for long-term missions to the moon or out to Mars, we should really have a better idea of what that looks like. So that's
one thing I'm trying to remember if they even mentioned it was, how do we monitor that?
It's a CubeSat. The sat part.
I
is
mean,
for
I hope it's
satellites.
sending
It's going to
information
be-
back, or we got
it's
a webcam or something in there to they can look at it, or
I can see my house
don't
from
know.
here. No.
Yeah.
They will be sending information back.
Yeah.
And it's going to be outside the Van Allen belt, which is not something that Mr. Van Allen uses to hold up his pants. It is the electromagnetic
Not anymore.
umbrella, if you will, that protects us from a lot of this radiation.
Mhm.
So if you're outside of that, you're going to be getting hit by all kinds of cosmic raisin things.
Raisin things.
Had to do it.
Nice callback there.
Had to do it.
That's
You
right.
knew it was coming. You just
Yep.
didn't know when.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go into the hacks and strange stories?
Yeah, let's do it.
Again, reaching for the wrong iPad. Okay. This one, I will do the screen share on this one. It demands visuals. So you're familiar with DALL-E or DALL-E 2?
Yes.
And were you working on something like this for Dragon Con? You'd put in
I was
terms?
using crayon, excuse me, CRAIYO.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
And I was using crayon, which is not related to this, but they were also using AI to do pictures and stuff.
Right. They put in
DALL-E,
a description like a box of Lucky Charms cereal on a grocery store shelf, and it would create a painting. And I have to show you this Lucky Charm.
So yeah, it'll come up with some almost photorealistic pictures, not just of the cereals, but some they were using it to do breakfast cereals. And it actually kind of works. I think it makes you
like a
think,
bowl of Chamalilux.
this is like if you went into another country or
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, if you went in one of those international grocery stores and you're like, it almost looks like what I normally get.
When Donna and I travel, we like to go into other people's grocery stores and see what's there. And this looks like it. Okay, so there's Chamalilux, there's Lose. The description they entered is a box of Fruit Loops on a grocery store shelf. The other one is Frosted Flakes on a grocery store shelf, and they get Finesse Frostfels. Yep, straight out of some country.
That's what Steve London has for breakfast.
Oh, good. Yes. Next time I see him, I'm going to ask for some Frostfels. Do you think they have those in Denmark? I'm headed that way soon. Hansa Hunde is a honeycomb cereal. And then we have raisin.
Yeah.
The lettering below the subtext looks like it's in like Thai or something.
or a ransom note.
This thing is like it looks like it's all raisins. No, I mean, it's not. The flakes are dark brown. They're the same color.
I think it's raisins and bacon bits.
That sounds strangely attractive.
I know. I was like, I might try that.
Would you like a box of Frifle's Stoffels? Wait a minute. Wasn't the other one also Stoffels? No, this was a Frostfels.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a Stoffels. We have to do it the right way. Frifle Stoffels. That's actually Fruity Pebbles.
John Miller Jr. He says, rip your toilet.
No, that would be this one. Gapas. Which is a box of grape nuts, which we mentioned earlier. Although these grape nuts don't look so much like grape nuts. They look more like maggot larvae or something. It just
or puffed rice. No, not puffed rice, but
it's multicolored. It's almost like orzo or something.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite, which is the Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes, is Tree Geis.
Looks like you went nuts.
The cat looks like something off a high school logo or something. It's our mascot.
We're the fighting tree guys. Treegies.
That's how you spell Donna's maiden name. Gies.
Oh. That's funny.
I had to laugh at that one too.
I've been dying to get access to Dolly or Dolly 2 to play with it. My invitation never came. I've asked for it, but
okay. I was going to see if we could make some of our own.
I wanted to. Oh, I really wanted it, like for Dragon Con or something.
Yep. Yeah. There was a comedian that would go through the grocery store, and he said, some words are just the same up. They you can read the letters upside down. Oh, so he turned a box of doodads. Remember the snack doodads? He turned that upside down, and it's called Spapoop. He went up to the onions and turned the sign upside down and said Snowino.
Yeah. Hey, when we went to the Bahamas, we went in the grocery store, and a lot of the things looked the same, but the packaging was slightly different, kind of like
Yeah.
what you're talking about, going to grocery stores and see what they have. Uh, some things look similar, but they didn't at all, and the packaging may be different, or the logo was slightly off. And I'm like, I don't know, just seems odd.
We'll have to find some exotic Mexican beer and take you on a pub crawl the way Don and I did in St. Thomas.
Sounds like a rip roaring good time.
Heck of a
Wait a minute, Tony is on meth. That's
yeah, that's a good one.
those weren't frosted flakes.
The person who designed that box was on meth.
Yeah.
If you're on meth, then it goes, wow, that's a pretty awesome tiger.
It's like Tony had the quote unquote frosted flakes.
Ooh. It reminds me of last week's article with the emojis. I can't figure that out. I always think I'm sending something bad now. I can't use emojis on my text messages.
You gotta be careful.
Like the DEA is going to bust down my door and say, hey, cactus snowman.
That's right. Cactus snowman.
All right, let's do a quick shout out to the chat room. I think. We don't have any music for that anymore, do we? We've got John Miller Jr. and Mike Robeson. We had a couple other people earlier, but they did not shout out for whatever reason. So thank you for joining us. If you'd like to join us online, you can do so Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern time for the weeks we're around, which reminds me, we will not be around in a couple of weeks. It's going to be Dragon Con weekend. Labor Day here in the U.S. is when Craig and I, if you're a new listener, you're just figuring this out, but longtime listeners will know that Craig and I head to Atlanta, Georgia.
Chuck bought his house from Michael Minigay.
Shh, you use a pseudonym, George Washington.
George Washington. He bought his house from Thomas Jefferson.
Yes, I live in the Jefferson Memorial.
That's right.
The Technorama is broadcast from Lincoln's Head in the Lincoln Memorial.
That's right.
Where were we? Oh, Dragon Con.
Yeah. Well, you'll be there too. Yeah.
Friday, we have our Trek Track panel. So we're Clinton and Craig and I are doing a live version of The Topic is Trek. Lots of audience participation. We're going to need lots of audience. We're looking at you regular listeners who go to Dragon Con. It's going to be fun. We're trying to get a celebrity on our panel, but this person has not responded other than, hey, what time is your panel? Not a yes, sure, I'd love to. Just
they must not have gotten the check yet.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll send them everything we have in the Topic is Trek Patreon fund, which is nothing.
Yeah. We'll be showing up with coins all in our pockets,
They're those chocolate coins that melt.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Saturday, we have the parade, Saturday morning. So we are the closing group of the parade. That is shaping up to look like a lot of fun. We've got some new people joining us.
Yes, we do.
Who can't make it. And some people that are on their way out. This is the last year. Scott is going to be our Santa.
What are we going to do?
Well, you're next. Fatten up.
What? No, no.
We also have Saturday night at 10 p.m. is going to be a karaoke party, which I will be the KJ for. That'll be a lot of fun. We did a trial of that last year and it worked out really well. So the digital media track coordinator said, sure, let's make it official and get it on the schedule. So if you're interested and you're going to be there, I can get you the party code so you can queue up your songs before the people who actually get there.
That's
so
right.
You can sing first. Cause if you're only given like 2 hours to karaoke, and you're like the 20th person that signs up, you may not get to sing.
Hey, and I'll tell you, I'm not a singer by any means. However, I have marked a lot of songs from the last year going, I can do this one. I might try this one.
Or just show up. You can still enjoy the show, heckle us, or even go into the app and give people, 1 to 5 stars. That's always fun too.
Usually don't invite people to heckle you, but okay, I'll go with that.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We need any and all audience. The fourth thing we've got, or at least the fourth thing on my calendar, I know Clinton's got a couple extras, is Tuesday at 2:30. We'll be doing Technorama Comedy Forecasts and Friends for the 10th time.
Yeah.
We swear we're going to get it right this time.
I promise.
We even have some lessons we should have learned.
What do they say, 10 times the charm?
9:30 Eastern is when you get this show, but not in 2 weeks. So we'll
10th
have one
time's the
more.
charm. That's right.
On the 28th of Sunday, we'll be doing this live again. So if you want to join us, mark your calendars, 9:30 Eastern time, Sunday, August 28th. Or go to our Facebook page and, you do the like and subscribe thing. You'll get notified either way. Okay, we have a couple things in the Remember When. How are we doing on time anyway? We're fine.
It's podcasting.
We don't have a whole lot of passing me the remote this week.
No.
So let's do Remember When. In the Remember When, we have a couple of articles. One is from an NPR podcast called Shortwave.
That's right.
And this is an article about Jocelyn Bell Burnell. She is the scientist, astronomer who discovered pulsars in 1967. Did you listen to the podcast?
I have not. I meant to come back and I did not listen to it.
I listened and subscribed and even listened to the one from
Really?
Friday. So this one is from a little while ago. I didn't see it in the backlog of the last 4 or 5 shows. Good podcast. It's only like 12 or 13 minutes. So easy to listen to. Of course, on their RSS feed, not on the website, but on the RSS feed, they stick in some ads, but you know what to do about those.
That's all right.
Anyway, it's a great story about how she wanted to be an astronomer, didn't want to work all night because it's like, hey, that doesn't work. But then she discovered radio astronomy, and you can work during the day.
Yeah.
And she found these signals that her supervisor, I guess, said, make it bigger, because it's almost like a seismograph where you get a whole bunch of little streaks in a small space. Yeah. But if you speed up the paper, you're going to see larger waveforms.
True.
In terms of not the amplitude, but the wavelength will be.
That's right. Yeah, you can see, you'll be able to read it better. Yes.
Yeah. And she said, oh, wait a sec. We're getting a blip from this thing in space every 1.3 seconds. What could that be? Well, the fact that it's rotating fast means that it's small, but the fact that it's sending out this big burst means that it's big, and they didn't know what it was. Well, a pulsar is the heart, the fast spinning heart of a neutron star. So a lot of cool science in here that we like to talk about in astronomy. And this is a nice tribute to one of the names you probably never even heard of before in history.
And there is no shortage of names you never heard of or should have heard of. And people like
this that changed the course of astronomy. Like that's freaking amazing.
That's right.
It's like, this is like up there with Edwin Hubble discovering that the universe is expanding.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so.
Okay, we have one more in here about the glory days of the 8286 Intel processor. Did you ever own a 286 machine?
Oh my God, yes. I've also built a million of them back in the day, because that's what I did when I was building computers. Started off with 286s. I was building them all over the place, and then as the article says, the 386 came around and kind of pushed it out of the way kind of quickly. But yeah,
I had what did I have first? I forgot what my first one was. It was the one that ran my bulletin board, and then I upgraded later.
It was a Z80.
Oh wait, no, I had a PS2 Model 30, which I think was a 286, and then I got a Model 55SX, which was a 386SX. But anyway, the article here tells us that the Intel 286, which came after the 8086 and before the 386, there was actually a 186 for a very short time, but didn't make it into too many commercial machines. Yeah. It said, hey, there were some undocumented features put into the processor. Some of these were used for debug. So as you're testing and in manufacturing or just testing the build process, you put these things in, but you don't document them. Well, people are still discovering these things.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Who's sitting there with a scope or an in-circuit emulator or something going, I wonder what happens when you make this hot and ground that. And it's like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of functions for testing and debugging and it was an in-circuit emulator.
Well, when you're doing the development with an in-circuit emulator. So, and if you want to have some fun, there's a lot of comments in here. This article is now about a week old as we broadcast this, But there's a lot of fun reminiscing going on in here. It's like, oh, I used to have one of those, or I had this, and
Hey,
the
you know what's
286. Go ahead.
you know what's laughable is, okay, you look at the bottom of the chip that they're showing in the picture,
Yep.
and compare that to today. The pins are so small and they're so dense on the chips that you buy, like Intel based ones, or not Intel, but you know,
Mhm.
x86. There is just so many pins, it's ridiculous. And it looks like
Well, they
this.
can't use this format. Went obsolete shortly afterwards. I
Oh
mean, when
yeah.
the 286 had a quad layout.
Hmm.
Uh, this the the more modern ones use what's called a ball grid array, a BGA. It's just a matter of density. You
Yeah,
can't
right.
get enough pins around the edge of a square thing anymore.
Right. That's what I'm getting at, is that you
Yeah.
look at this and compare that to something nowadays. I mean, it's infinitely more complex.
Speaking of complex, that's a great segue into our
Oh,
patrons.
all right.
Uh-huh. So thank you very much, patrons, for supporting this show. Your contributions, your donations for each episode go directly to the funding of this show. Hardware, software, the domains we just transferred. Yes,
Yeah.
that was covered by you, thankfully. And
Me? Oh, them.
them. It also deferred some of the costs for renewing the domains till next year. So we've got a little bit of extra cash in the bank this year.
That's right.
Craig's got to work on that t-shirt thing, though. We're working on getting those t-shirts out, but we're just not sure what the holdup is. So let me give you a list of names of wonderful people that are supporting that. And a few of you should be expecting t-shirts soon, because that's one of our tiers includes that. And we have not been upholding our end of the bargain. So thanks to the likes of Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Avner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC. Thank you, Dan DeMancoyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros, John Clifford, John Noble, Yorka Schrow, Crazy Joe Adventures. He changed his last name. No, he changed his entire name. He
Yeah,
used to be
that's right.
Megapod somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who we should say who bought my house, or I bought the house from.
Crazy Joe.
Sure. Kyle Nishioka, Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Matt Baum, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Therian. Thank you, Steve Cody and Steve London and Tim Cook. All of them are donating as little as $1 per episode. And in return, now some are giving more, some upgraded recently. So if you're already giving, think of giving more. If you aren't giving, if this show is entertaining or informative in some way, like you just learned about radio astronomy and pulsars from 1967, hey, that might be worth $1. You never know. Thank you to everybody. If you want to be part of this family, patreon.com/Technorama podcast. And we got postcards going out. Craig and I are getting together at DragonCon. One of our missions is sign those postcards. So we'll get those sent out to you right away. Make sure we have your address. I just sent out a whole bunch of feelers to people going, hey.
I think I know you sent out an email and we got some email responses. However,
yes,
I think you can just go to the Patreon site and fill in. You can't?
A number of people said, I don't see a place to enter that. So please let me know. And we'll be happy to get you that.
Okay.
All right. End of music.
Cut it.
Okay. Next thing we have is our pass the remote. I think we just have one, right? No. Yes, pass the remote. I looked at the wrong thing on the list.
I got a simple one. I won't talk about too much.
By the way, Sandman has one extra episode that just got added, episode 11 this week.
Yes, I did see that, and I sent it to Harrison because he had already finished it. He's like, "Oh, a bonus episode? That's great."
Bonus episode. First part is animated, very creative, very good, and the second part is with the traditional characters that were in the rest of the series. So, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
That was actually interesting because I didn't know nobody was expecting an extra episode.
Yep. There's always 10. What's with the 11? They turned it up to 11. There we go. Another one on Netflix that Don and I watched in the last week is a series called Northern Rescue. This is from a few years ago. and stars William Baldwin, not Alec, but his brother. And it's a story about a family that has some tragedy, and they relocate back to the town where he grew up and met his wife, and his sister-in-law lives there, and it's kind of a soap opera kind of thing, but you get attached to these characters. The writing is good, the acting is good, the scenery is beautiful. But they didn't renew it for a second season, and they leave it really wide open.
Oh no.
So, yeah, I was disappointed. This one, we were just getting into it to 10 episodes, and it's gone. So don't let the fact that there's nothing else coming, at least not yet. Maybe if they hear this review, such a glowing review, they'll renew it based on, we'll call it the Technorama effect. It's like the /dot effect used to be in the old days.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What
We're
do you
taking
got?
a website down.
Right.
I watched The Nice Guys, which is it's an older, it's not an older film, but it's from 2016. Has Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling in it, and they're a couple. I'm not gonna say inept detectives, but they're pretty close. It's based on they're hired
Is it
to
a comedy?
Yeah, it is a comedy, and it's based on
Okay.
like the 70s. It says in the 1970s, Los Angeles, a mismatched pair of private eyes investigate a missing girl and the mysterious death of a porn star. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, not slapstick funny, but just them watching them trying to basically accidentally get to certain points and figure out things. It's the accidents that happen. Kind of fall right in their lap. It's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, go check it out.
All right. And Donna and I just started watching, was it Old Man or The Old Man on Netflix? So
Yeah,
I'm going to
with
give you a
Jeff
review on that
Bridges.
one next time around. Yes.
Yes.
Next time around, we'll get you that one. Okay. Geek Library time, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I didn't miss anything this week. In the Geek Library, we're not going to read every one of these, but we have a list.
You're not going to read every one of them? Oh, you mean the title?
Correct. Not going to read the titles of all of them. 20 of the best science fiction books of all time, according to bookriot.com. So, number of them that I have heard of before that are classic favorites, like H.G. Wells' The Time Machine is in there.
Neuromancer.
Neuromancer is in there. Even The Martian is in there.
Hey, I remember reading A Wrinkle in Time back in school.
Ringworld by Larry Niven is in there.
Yeah.
Hitchhikers is in there. But there are a lot of them that
I should read that one
again
for the 100th time.
Again.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you which ones I didn't recognize, because that'll make me sound like an idiot. Like, what? You haven't read that yet? No, I don't want to get into
there's a couple in there I could tell you. I don't care.
So check out the link in episode 683 at chuckchat.com/technorama.
You know what's funny is you don't ever think about including this in science fiction books of all time, like a list like this. But Frankenstein, I never think about them including that as a science fiction book, but yeah, I guess it is,
Yep. Good stuff in here, some of which have been made into films or other series. Yeah. Some have not. And they even have an ad that shows up multiple times in here for a book called Signal Moon by Kate Quinn, which I don't think is related to Sailor Moon.
No. I don't
Amy.
think so. I know. Yeah. I know. I was listening to her actually today talk about that. She goes, I got this whole costume and she's never watched it. She figured I better watch it to get an idea what I'm
I never watched it either, so I had to watch the first one.
Yeah,
she's right. It's a bit of a slog. It would have been better when it was new, kind of like Buffy or Angel.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I know what it is. I just I've never watched it.
Well, I did have a friend, a coworker, who dressed up as Tuxedo Mask, and I had no idea what it was. And now I do. It's like, hey, that guy looks like Mark. Mark did a pretty good job with his cosplay about 20 years ago.
Oh, good job, buddy.
Think of the time frame on that. Somebody does a cosplay and you don't have a back reference for 20 years.
Well,
I mean,
I
it's
think it's
not
actually
not like when we were raising our kids and they didn't kind of get the Darth Vader reference until they
Right.
watched the movie and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what Dad keeps saying."
Or
It's like, no,
what?
we had the opportunity to watch Sailor Moon. We just chose not to. And
Well,
then 20 years later, you get it's like, dang.
well, what's worse is that's been rolling around in your head, and you go, "Oh, I finally got it." It's like like Data, in
Yeah,
Generations.
with the
Oh,
joke.
yeah, Data, that was a joke from 7 years ago. Yeah, I just got it.
That's very funny. Well, that's because he just got his humor chip or emotion chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
In the
anyway,
media corner, that's where you find it.
that list
That's a good
leads
list.
into our question of the week.
Okay.
So it got me thinking. I thought, well, I'll ask everybody, what are some of your favorite books you've read? And it can be science fiction or fantasy or whatever. It doesn't matter. I just want to know, what are some of your favorite books that you read? Maybe made an impression on you or something you really, cared about. Let us know.
You know what? I think we ought to use this clip from Keith because it's been on the soundboard. It's sitting right there towards the end of the show.
Mhm.
We can use this as our new question of the week music. Very majestic.
What's your favorite color?
Question of the week.
There you go. So
All right.
yeah, what are some of your favorite books
you
you've
ever
read?
read? It will include audiobooks if you want to do it that way too,
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, why not?
or listened to. All right. So that's our show. Just right on time too. It's almost like we planned this.
Look at that.
Okay. Let's take us on out of here since we're still on target.
That's right.
If you want to get in touch with us, Craig, put up that contact information.
Oh yeah, I was just going there.
Call the listener line or text the listener line 707-530-chat. You can email us. I just tested this today. It still works.
Oh,
Technorama@chuckchat.com. Get in touch with us. Let us know what is some of the favorite books you read. We'll have the question on social media next week, and we'll read you the answers as we record it on the 28th. Hope you can join us Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern time. Oh, excuse me. So, anything more to say about that?
nope.
All right. This concludes our broadcast day and the end of the episode we titled, How Do You Eat a Ram One Bite at a Time? Oh, wait, that was a question and an answer.
That's right.
Surprise, shock, and awe. You can find us anywhere you find other podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. You know where to find us. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. Like it.
And I hope to see you at DragonCon for some fun. Till then, Craig, give him a binary high five.
All right, 101.
Audio recording is concluded.
All right.
We're going to record our Patreon show now.
Yeah.
And if you would like to hear what we have to say on that, well, you're going to have to subscribe.
No touching.
Technorama podcast, I think. Hi, Scott.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining at the end of the show.
That's right.
And we will bid everyone farewell on the live stream. Take care. Be safe. Talk to you soon.
Hasta mañana.